Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Sarah and this is episode 6 of turning my kill pen rescue horse Vhagar into a dressage pony. We're getting closer to Vhagar's first ride, but before we take that big step, there are a few things we need to iron out. In today's video, we attempt doing some in-hand work with Vhagar to work on her steering capabilities. If you don't want to miss any of the action with Vhagar, her first ride, or any other big milestones in this journey, be sure to click the subscribe button to join our dragon family. Before we can jump into our groundwork, we need to head over to the Tack store to get a girth that fits Vhagar properly. So we're going to drive over and we'll see you guys there. Okay, so we made it to the girth section. I need to get a new one for Vhagar because the one I have is huge on her. If you're used to dressage riding, you'll know like the girth I have right now is a 30. So it's marked huge. We ordered one online that was a 26, but it was like the same size as the 30. So I brought a tape measure so I can make sure that I get one that's the right size. I found a girth that'll be the right size. It's a 24 and it is a fluffy girth, so it'll be a little bit more comfortable for Vhagar. And we're gonna go ahead and check out for this. And I'll probably look at a couple other things on our way out. We'll see you guys in the yard with Vhagar. We are back from the Tack store. I got our new girth. I've already showed it to Vhagar. I think she approves. I'm gonna go ahead and I've already groomed her so you guys can see. I'm gonna go ahead and tack her up and do a light lunge before we do our other groundwork to show you guys. So I'm just gonna go ahead and grab her pads and start getting her all tacked up. She's looking for cookies because she knows she gets a cookie with the bridle now. That worked so well that now whenever I go to bridle her, she is looking. What's that, like 3 now, snort count? 2? 2. See if we can keep track of that in the video. Snort count. She's looking at all my stuff down here. Okay, that looks good. You checking out the mounting block? We haven't brought that out yet. I'm checking it out. Yeah, this is your new girth. I left all the tags on, so I have to pull them off. Well, I'll pull the last one off when I know it fits you for sure. So let's go ahead and let's see. I'm gonna say that it goes like this. So I'm gonna put these through. Get all my straps in order. See. Okay. Go ahead and put this through here. I like how this one has more straps to hold everything in place. And since it's smaller, I'm going to put it on kind of loose so we can go back and adjust everything and see how it fits. Go ahead and get this strap in. She's not scared of the mounting block. That's great. Some horses, it takes them quite a few saddles before they're just fine with it. So the fact that, okay, yeah, I have it way too tight on the other side, but I'll go ahead and switch sides and loosen it right now. Ooh. Oh, she's adjusting, but I don't have any issues with her taking a little step like that and adjusting because she might just be making sure it's more comfortable. So I put the girth on loose enough that I can reach underneath and pull it down a little bit so that I can make sure that it's not pulling their skin anywhere. Looks good. Looks good, pony. So now that I know that fits, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this off. Ooh. Ooh. Nothing on it. I did put the bridle in like a warm cup of water so that it wouldn't be cold on her. She always tries to sneak the treat without the bridle. Yeah. I just want to lower her head so I can do the other ear. There we go. And you dropped your cookie. So here's your cookie. It's amazing what like offering one cookie when you go to bridle her did for her mentality. As all the crumbs fall. But she's really good at bridling now. And that's only been just a couple times. With a cookie. I think that's like the third time with the cookie. And now she is like perfect. Vhagar is all tacked up. I am going to be using just her bridle to lunge her today. And so I put the reins up in her throat latch so that they're not hanging. She doesn't risk stepping in them. And then we're just gonna head over and start lunging her for a quick little warm up. The girth fits really well. I like it. It's fluffy. She didn't have any issues with me putting it on her. And for bridling, she did much better. I started using the cookie when I go to bridle her, and now she just immediately starts reaching to put on the bridle. So that's a really good sign, and it just makes my job a whole lot easier and helps her have a more positive experience with the bridle. Okay, so Vhagar's had a chance to lunge and warm up. I'm gonna do some in-hand work. We've been working on this the last couple weeks, but I'll be honest, it's pretty clunky at this point. It was entirely new to Vhagar, and it's not something I've done in 3 years before I started doing it with her. And I'll say I was never an expert at it. I always kind of struggled, and I definitely utilized having a round pen or some sort of arena to help me a lot. And so it's definitely been a learning experience working on it out in the field, out in the open. But I will say I'm working with the facilities I have, so this is entirely real. It might not look perfect, but the goal is to learn with this horse. So luckily she's been pretty forgiving, but we are learning, so just keep that in mind. The camera is going to be running around to keep up with us because we are going to walk around, but I'm going to have the reins up close as if I was riding, and I'm just going to be asking Vhagar to move forward and to be moving her feet and turn a bit. I'm doing my best to simulate as if I was riding and steering her around from the ground. I'm just trying to grip the reins as if I'm riding. So I've got my left rein in my left hand, my right rein on my right hand, and then I'm trying to stay between her shoulder and the girth. I'm trying to stay in this position so that when I'm driving her forward, she knows to go forward, because you'll see if I speed up too much or slow down and get in front of her shoulder, she knows that that's where I ask her to back up. So if I switch positions, oh, she's got a little itchy. Can you pick that up? So if I switch positions, she knows this is where we ask her to back up. Okay. Yeah, so it's just a dressage whip. I'm using it just as an extension of my arm. So I'm using it to kind of tap, or really she's so light, it's more just to kind of like wave so that she knows what we're asking. So I might, kind of tap her knee just lightly like this, so she knows I want her to move that foot. So it's just kind of tapping the knees. So I'll go behind, and with her I just kind of have to just touch her lightly, and she knows that means to go forward. And so we're just kind of moving around. I'm gonna go ahead and have her turn. There we go. And I'm trying to be as light as I can on the bit, and also give her releases whenever she moves where I ask her. But kind of issue we've been having is she wants to kind of lean in towards me. So I'm having to kind of push her out a bit more. I mean, some people don't do this, and I know a lot of people have said like, oh, will she yield to the bit? And that's just like where I ask her to kind of tilt her head, and she does. But the reason I don't like to do a whole lot of just asking them to tilt their head and not move their feet, because when I'm riding a horse and I go to pick up the rein, I want them to move their feet. So if I'm sitting on her and I pick up the right rein, I want her to move her feet and to move, you know, somewhere. I don't want her to just give her her head and not change directions. So I don't do a lot of, some people are really big fans of just asking them to bend their neck one way or the other, and she can bend her neck, but I don't do it a lot, because see like how I just lightly picked it up and she started moving her feet. So that's what I want. I want to just be able to lightly grab the bit and she moved that leg over. So that's what I'm looking for, as opposed to just having her turn her head. I want her to be thinking as a whole piece instead of just parts. Right. So yeah, she's got a lot of parts, and I want them to know how to move together. No, I'm standing too far forward. Yeah, so see, as soon as I was like 2 centimeters too forward, now she thinks we're backing up. So in order to not confuse her, I'm just gonna go ahead and switch grips and just ask her nicely to take a couple steps back and say, good job, you did that really well. And then I'm gonna take my step further back and go ahead and pick up my reins and just ask her to move forward. There we go. And so I'm kind of pushing my hand here just because she's leaning in on me a bit and coming towards me sooner than I'm ready for her. But now I just want to lightly pick up her. Yeah, I'm just trying to explain. So I'm lightly picking up the rein and moving her forward. Ooh, ooh, move. Okay. Let me just try to take her the other way. It's very difficult. Yeah, she definitely, so like because I tend to stand, you know, in the same spot. Ooh, see, like I'll stand here to ask her to yield her hindquarters over. So when we're trying to move forward, she already knows that turn is coming and she kind of anticipates it. So I'm trying to get her to move more forward without just she's like, what is your problem here? So as you guys can see, we're not great at this, but we're trying to learn. I'm watching some trainer videos to try and educate myself more, and we are practicing it off camera, but it's definitely a huge work in progress. And I wouldn't even say that's fully on Vhagar. Like, a lot of that is me. There's a lot of trainer error going on right there. So I'm just trying to not focus too much on the negativity and just look for our small wins. But she is getting really light on yielding her hindquarters. We just need to work on getting her a bit more forward and not quite turning so much. We're trying to get her to move forward a bit more. And I think a lot of that has to do with my position. So I need to work on that. She was very patient with me. I'm gonna go ahead and get the mounting block and work on some other groundwork with her. So yeah, she's a very patient pony. So I got my mounting block. I'm going to work on getting her used to it. You got your helmet. And I got my helmet because we're going to do some work on the saddle. So she's been good about the saddle flappies. She's been good. Yes. I lunged with the stirrups down. I actually don't really need that right now, but I'm gonna try and get her used to. We've been using the fence a lot. We haven't used the mounting block. So just kind of plopping it here next to her. It makes a clunky sound. So you can see she's not really scared of it, but She's trying to eat it. So I'm next to her here. And we've done this stuff with the fence, but we haven't done it block. But I just come over here and I mess with the saddle. And our goal, this is not going to look perfect today. Our goal is to have it good, you know, over the course of a few more sessions, because we want to go ahead and start riding her, even if it's just sitting on her. We want to start getting her used to these things, but we're not there yet. So this is still progress. She might wiggle a little bit. She's still learning, and we're giving her that opportunity to adjust and get used to things. These times I'm trying to put my foot a little bit more to where I'm not poking her, and then just kind of up. Yes. Ooh. How that time she went ahead and she stopped. So I was just trying to stick with her a bit so that she would stop, and so she's not just thinking like every time she feels a weight on her back she has to start moving off. But I'm very happy with how she's doing. So I ran out of time to record the last of the video, but I was able to lay over her on the other side. She did really good. Just a little wiggly like the first side, but that's fine. We've got time to work it out. I would like to see myself sit on her next week. That is our goal. So we will continue working off camera to get her ready, and hopefully we can be sitting on her for the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching and sticking with us. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We would really love to hit that milestone by the end of the month. If you guys are interested, please hit the like and subscribe button. We really appreciate it. It makes such a big difference for us. Vhagar just left to go continue doing her pasture puff thing, but we're really happy with her progress, and I think she's just doing really good. She's way better than we expected she'd be when we pulled her up, and she's just a really good kid. So we've got big things planned and we're looking forward to it. We'll see you guys again soon. Bye.